Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Ryan Luke here from officialryanluke.com. Just before we get started, don't forget there's loads of awesome stuff over on the website. So head over there after this video if you want to check out some more free content, if you want to get involved with the academy, if you want to book a mentorship call, officialryanluke.com. And don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe to the channel. We're delivering awesome content every single week and I don't want you to miss out on that. So today, I really want to talk about refurbishments. A lot of people ask all the time, how do I price refurbishments up? How do I know if my money's going to get stuck? And for me, I've got a few simple ways. I don't think you can't buy experience, but you know, and that is the biggest thing that you need to do is just get stuck in, start doing it, start asking for quotes off people, start seeing what different people price different jobs at, and you'll start to get a bit of a feel for what stuff costs. So, you know, experience is vital in this game. But as a bit of a quick tip, if you're just looking to get into your first project, if you want to price up your first, refurbishment, then, you know, a couple of ways that I work with my mentees is what we call the pricing menu. So I'm going to just share my screen here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So what we have here is a pricing menu. So I put everything in terms of, what things cost on average. Now, don't get me wrong, the size of properties and the condition of properties can make this, a total game changer. But, that's why we've got big gaps between the elements. But really, these are where you should be, somewhere in the middle, this probably being the cheapest, this probably being the most expensive for an average size property, an average size kitchen, an average size bathroom. So, we have these sort of refurbishment lists and each element is considered. And, on top of this, we have a viewing checklist, which, goes through and makes sure that nothing gets missed on the viewing so that we can come back from the viewing and then price everything up. I don't think you should be pricing stuff up as you're viewing. I think you want to try and move quickly. And, I use Google and just put in the description of, new bathroom required, fuse box required, whatever it might be. And then we come back into the office and we price it up based on the pricing menu, what it needs. And obviously over time, it's very rare that I use this anymore. I kind of know what it's going to cost. I can do it myself, just off the top of my head using the experience. But if it's your first time doing this, or maybe you're just not confident enough with your pricing yet, then, these are kind of the average costs that it takes to get yourself a refurb done. Make sure you're hitting your budget. And one thing that is really apparent for me, which I'm going to come on to in a second, is a lot of people will price themselves out of a deal by overpricing the refurbishment. And a lot of people, yes, you got to put your margin in, and yes, you don't want to underprice it and leave yourself short. But don't lose a deal because you're being too cautious and you're overpricing. And this is why it's crucial that you get your pricing as accurate as you possibly can. Because the more accurate you are, the more confident you can make your offers. And ultimately, the more deals you'll more than likely pick up. Because if you're pricing yourself out of it with refurbishment costs, then you're never going to pick the deals up. So we then go into a furniture price list. Obviously, we run a lot of SAs, a lot of HMOs. So, we have a pretty standard refurbishment price list, a furniture price list, sorry. And, we know roughly what it's going to cost for every item that we need to put in there. And then obviously the refurbishment. Now, this translates into, my deal analyzer. So you'll see here, we've kind of got all the different, this here is our refurb line. And within here, we then, pop it in and put a little note in. So, new carpets, $2.5 grand, new boiler, $2 grand, kitchen floor lino, 200 quid, and then the rest of the details. This one, obviously a bit more complex, strip and plaster, remove fireplace, carpet whole house. So the first bit of this notes is kind of what goes into my Google Calendar when I'm on a viewing. And then when I get back, I go into Google Calendar and I then start pricing it up against this, and then put a bit of excess on there as well for comfort if I feel that it's required. I feel like I'm quite confident at pricing jobs now that I don't really need to give myself that 10 or 20% leeway. Certainly not as much as as I did in the beginning. So, you know, I'd rather just know that I'm going to price that job quite well. And, you know, also right now, if we do need to spend a bit extra, then we need to spend a bit extra, that's fine. But at the beginning, when, you know, maybe your cash pot isn't huge and you're wanting to maximize every single penny, then, you know, it is important that you get the right costs and you utilize information that you can get. Now, a couple of quick tips on really maximizing what you're doing is, everyone says it, get 3 quotes off people. Even if you've used them before, still get 3 quotes off, you know, still get 2 other quotes. And you'll find, you know, some pricing, you'll get a bit of a feel for whether you're getting ripped off or whether you can squeeze a bit out of them. But at the same time, you bear in mind, if you want to be like this hard negotiator on price and you want to drive it down as cheap as you possibly can, you'll more than likely drive the job quality down to cheapness. And that's not what you want. You want value for money. You want to make sure that whatever you're paying for is good value for money. And that's the main thing that I think all the time. So I don't want the cheapest, because cheap normally results in a cheap job. And for me, if you buy cheap, you buy twice. You know, that's pretty much an unwritten rule. So just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's the best. At the same time, I don't want to pay fortunes. I don't want to pay over the odds for a job that I know can be done cheaper and provide that value for money. So it's all about getting value for money, and it's got to sit right with you. It's got to sit right with them. It's got to be a win-win. And then you get a great job off them. You get a really nice finish, and ultimately your tenants or your guests are happy and they want to stay time and time and time again, or stay for longer periods of time. Because also, lenders want to work with you when you do good refurbs, and tenants check in quick. You know, we do ours to a really good standard. Don't blow the bank. We just feel like we do a really good standard, really good kit out. We get creative with the decoration, and most of our properties will rent within 7 to 10 days max, because we're delivering better than what the market's delivering. We're not just doing magnolia walls and wood floors, you know, hardwood floors that can last forever. You know, we're making them homes. We create homes, and people want to move in and they want to live there, and they don't mind paying a bit extra for it as well. So sometimes when you're going cheap on your refurbs, you'll more than likely get a worse tenant, and you'll more than likely get more problems in the long term, and you'll get more turn in your properties, because the minute a better property comes up, they give you a month's notice and away they go for another property. So you want to try and deliver that real good value for money from the start, and by doing that, it increases your profit. You might spend a bit more in the refurb stage, but overall, over the length of, you know, 12, 24, 36 months, 5 years, 10 years, you will spend less money maintaining the property. You'll probably have less turn through your properties, and ultimately you'll make more money. So hope that helps. Don't forget, if you want to get some of these awesome tools, head over to officialryanloop.com. They can all be downloaded over there, and I will see you soon for the next video. Have an awesome day, everyone.